guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through a sort of April reset, and I encourage you to follow along. Get out your journal or your notes app and we can go through this together. Side note, sometimes I film with the background blurred, other times I do it like this. Comment down below if you prefer the regular background where you can see all my decorations and stuff, or the blurred background. This video is more about realigning mentally and spiritually as opposed to just cleaning stuff. Let's talk about what I didn't like about March. And if you're following along, do a list of 3 things that you didn't like about March. The first thing I didn't love about the way I was living in March is that more towards in the beginning of the month, I wasn't going out as much as I like to. And part of that is because of the weather and also my friends. They've been really busy recently because obviously for some of them it's the end of their school year, so they have a lot going on, but also others. My friend works at this store and it's closing, so that's been a ton of work. So part of it is out of my control, but regardless, I didn't like it being indoors so much. Some people have no problem with that. Some people love to sit in their house, and I guess in theory I also like to be in my house. I have no problem being by myself, but I don't know, I think I just do. In order to enjoy being in my house, I do need to spend a lot of time out in the world doing other things. And thankfully, as the days are getting longer and the weather is getting better, I should have more opportunities to do that. The second thing I didn't love about March is that I feel like I had too much screen time, and involved in that screen time is just a bunch of stuff that I don't even actually like. I find myself doom scrolling, and I was doing better with this for a really long time. I think sometimes when I just get tired of it and I get fed up with my life, or when things aren't going the way I want, or I'm frustrated, I think I slide into these periods where I just scroll through short form, and I don't even like it. Half of the short form videos that I see, I don't even like that much. Most of them suck. They're not good. And it's really not things I need to be spending hours or so doing. I think it's always smarter, and I'm not saying never scroll, whatever, but honestly, in my perfect world, we would never scroll, and we would only just watch the short form from people that we already know that we like, and only occasionally go to the explore page. That's my perfect reality, because I just really resent sitting there like a slug, scrolling on my freaking phone. And half the time I do it because I can't get up because I'm so tired. And I'm like, you know, maybe if I'm so tired, maybe I should just go to sleep. And even with long form too, I've been watching and listening to a lot of drama content, which I think is fun sometimes, but I also literally don't care. I don't care that deeply about any of that stuff that I'm watching, and I'm spending so much time on it because I'm just looking for something to keep me busy. And once again, there's nothing wrong with consuming some drama content, but there's a law of diminishing returns where you can only watch a video about the same situation so many times before you're like, what am I even getting out of this anymore? Because most of them tend to talk about the same things at the same time. The whole Hailey Bieber 7-part series sham documentary or something, I watched 3 different videos about that. I didn't even watch the actual documentary. I watched 3 videos of people talking about the documentary, which I just watched somebody break down how all of it wasn't true. And honestly, I don't have any personal stake in it. I'm not a Hailey fan, I'm not a Justin fan, and I'm not a Selena fan. I do not care, bro. Yet I was enraptured. I was enmeshed. I was pulled in. I wanted to know, what was this drama with Hailey being an alleged stalker? So then I've been following this thing, whatever. Right? Sometimes it's a little entertaining. But then the more you freaking do it, it's just I'm in hell. I'm literally in hell. And I do the same thing with true crime or models that went missing and stuff. I don't even like to watch that kind of thing because it throws me into a pit of despair. I can't handle true crime. Nobody should let me near it. I get interested, but I don't know why I do that to myself, because I know that it makes me cry and have nightmares. The last thing I didn't like that I did in March was I didn't read as much as I really want to. I have to prioritize reading. Maybe if I wasn't spending so much time scrolling on my damn phone and watching 7-part Hailey Bieber commentary videos, maybe I would actually have more time to read before I go to sleep. But part of it too is I've been so exhausted lately that when it's time to go to bed, I'm just I can't read right now. My brain is fried. But if you fall asleep too early, then you wake up at 4 a.m. and you're like, where am I? Oh my God. And then you can't get back to sleep. So then I have to force myself to stay up. So then that's when I start watching Fashion Rapunzel, model went missing, huh? Like, that's when I just start watching anything and everything. So I don't know. I want to be more intentional about the way that I spend my time because I'm tired of it. I've got to find a way around this. Now we're going to get into the things that I did like in March and that I do feel like I did properly in March and that I would like to continue. Those of you who are following along, make your list of 3 things that you did like that you did this month and that you would like to keep doing. One thing that I did like is that towards the very end of the month, I did start getting out more because I noticed that I wasn't really having a good time. But it was also easier for me to get out because one of my friend's birthdays was happening. So I went to karaoke, I went to her birthday party. And a lot of that stuff is very tiring for me, but I feel like it's worth it to do because I have a mood tracker in my journal. And pretty much any day that I see my friends or that I go out, I mark my mood as higher than the days that I didn't do those things. And I think that means something for my quality of life, that I like to spend time with my friends and it really improves my mood. The second thing that I liked that I started this month is voice exercises and like a vocal retraining thing. This is going to be very specific to me, but I'm going to give you like a quick history. If you don't care, you don't care. Like just skip through it, but just to like explain what this is that I'm talking about. So I used to be in college studying voice and I was a vocalist, and then I had a bunch of health issues. I had to drop out. I don't want to go back at this point, but I still care a lot about singing, okay? So remember that. Then in late October of last year, I spontaneously developed adult onset asthma and vocal cord dysfunction. And do we know why this happened? No, I have my suspicions, and unfortunately we will one day know why this happened, and it probably won't be a good reason. I say from experience with mysterious health problems, oh, they're all unrelated, but psych, they actually are all related to each other. But I digress. One day we'll know, right? So then I had to wait until February to get an appointment with an actual voice specialist. They did a laryngoscope thing, which is where they look at your vocal cords. They told me, well, your vocal cords move the wrong way when you breathe. Huh? What? How? Let me know. How the fuck did that start happening? Apparently, it's very linked and connected to asthma in some people. But so the asthma medication and now the voice exercises that I've been doing seem to help with that. But also, I really want to keep at them because I'm still struggling, especially at the ends of my words with like that sound. And everybody naturally has that a little bit, I think, but I didn't used to have so much of it. And I think there are times and there are moments where I'm just not going to be able to control it. But I'm really trying to train myself to do the strategies I was taught. And I think that if I practice my singing more, that'll also help me carry those strategies over into my speaking voice. Some days are better than others. Even when I'm trying my best, I'll be dry and scratchy. But I want to keep working on that. That's a very personal one that not everybody's going to relate to. The last thing I liked that I did in March was tidying my room up and tidying my things up as I go, as opposed to doing everything all at once. I think in the past, I used to try to do everything all at once because I was like, okay, let's set aside one day and we're going to do all of these things in one day. But then that was exhausting and it made me miserable, and maybe certain things weren't getting done the way that they should because I was just so exhausted that at that point I was like, I don't even care what it looks like. So cleaning as I go, doing things in little segments and sections on different days, that works better for me. So I want to keep tidying up in that way. Now let's talk about changes that I want to make. So take a minute to think about, you just wrote down the things that you liked. So obviously we're going to continue those. But how can we change the things that we didn't like? And how can we also add anything else that we want to add? In order to reduce screen time, I'm going to try to focus more on my crafts. And I've been saying this for so long, and then I'll do it, but then I'll fall off. And I'm like, I like doing my crafts. Why am I doing this? It's just we get stuck in this thing where we're like, oh no, we don't have time. I have to focus on 7-part Hailey Bieber. No, you don't. obviously going to make the change of prioritizing reading. In terms of going out more, not only am I going to be going out, but I also want to seek out new places and new experiences and more memorable things to do, because obviously just hanging out in the neighborhood is fun, but sometimes I get tired of that and it kind of gets stale. Going to the same restaurants, going to the same malls. I want to go to like craft places. I already have a pottery painting class session for my friends and I coming up in a couple weeks, so that should be really fun and easy. And obviously all of these things cost money, but where I live in New York, there are really expensive places to do things, but there's also things that are more affordable. And I also was able to find a deal on Groupon for this experience. But where I find my ideas for new experiences lately has been the S'more app. And this obviously isn't sponsored because there's 200 subs here, girl. Clearly, nobody is sponsoring the channel, okay? Despite all the scam emails I get telling me to promote their Timo plush, okay? Nobody is sponsoring me here. I don't think that many people use the S'more app, but of the people that do and post on there, I'm like, save, 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 save. And I was able to, I've taken action on one of the things I saved, which is the pottery thing. So I want to keep up with that. The last change I want to make is I want to eat more fruit. This may sound weird, but the girls who get it, get it. Fruits are one of my major sources of nutrients, and lately the fruit has been so diabolically horrendous that I haven't been eating it, and I think I'm probably going to become malnourished because fruit is like my main thing. Now that it's warming up, the fruit should hopefully taste better and be of higher quality, but let's see, I don't want to jinx it. Now lastly, I want to talk about astrology. This video is part of a new way that I'm trying to revamp my full moon and new moon tarot reading series. I'm going to keep trying new things until people start watching them. Because I know my tarot readings are good, but people aren't rocking with them for whatever reason. More so like YouTube is giving them negative reach. And I think it's because tarot might be seen as like a niche topic, so it gets suppressed. But also I refuse to be like the other tarot channels that are like, your ex-husband's coming back for you. Like, I literally refuse to do that. I won't do that because I don't believe in lying to others, okay? Anyway, we have the full moon in Libra coming up the day after I upload this video, so it's on April 12th. Sidebar, if you follow me on Instagram, you will get access to monthly astrology guides, which basically tell you what new moons and full moons are happening and when, what house it's happening in for you based on your ascendant, a journal prompt, and a tarot card prediction for how the moon will affect the general collective. So if you are interested in that, follow me there. Same username as here, Bewitched by Lena. Let's talk about Libra. Libra is known as the sign of partnerships, contracts, relationships, diplomacy, balance. A lot of people inherently link it to romance, and due to its associations with partnership and due to its general vibe of being ruled by Venus, I can say yes, I do see the romance aspect, but it's important that people know that Libra is not all romance. I'm not a certified astrologer, I'm just like a very dedicated hobbyist, and I do know things, but there are also other things I'm not the most well versed in. That's why using it in tandem with the tarot is more of my thing. But from what I understand, Leo and the 5th house is actually a little bit more romance driven specifically because of the associations that that house traditionally has with procreation. I might be losing some of you. I might be making it too confusing. Let's bring it back, okay? Libra being a Venus-ruled sign, at least in modern astrology, I take elements from both traditional and modern astrology. I don't think there's any right way to do it, to be honest with you, unless you're doing it in a way I don't like. What do we associate Venus with? Art, beauty, romance. So let's bring that energy into the spring and summer. This is the perfect time to romanticize your life because Libra is in itself romantic, even if not in the literal romantic partnership sense, but in the sense that it's about balance and harmony. So now is a great time to really get into the aesthetics of your life and how you want your space to look and how you want to look and what you want your everyday life to look like.
At least that's how I would use the moon's energy. And full moons are all about releasing, and obviously the way that it's aspected is going to determine the quality of how it is, whether it's going to be like something abrupt. Because I know there are moons that are associated with an eclipse that can have more of an abrupt situation. I honestly don't remember if there's an eclipse with this one or not. You can probably look that up. Because Libra is all about balance, I would say it tends to be more of a harmonious, less jarring release. However, if it's aspected in a certain way, or if it falls into your chart in a certain way, it can be like, boom. If everything's super out of whack, this might hit you. The need for balance might hit you very strongly, or your life will forcibly be balanced if you're really out of whack. But I'm gonna pull a few tarot cards for us so we can talk about what else we've got going on. Okay, full moon in Libra. Already the King of Swords just came out, which reminds me of when I said, if your life is out of balance, it may forcibly be balanced. Libra is an air sign, which naturally coincides with that King of Swords energy. There's something here about not resisting something. Oh my gosh, guys, and look, I swear I'm not making this up, bro. Justice on the bottom of the deck. Libra, balance, what did I just say? So the cards we have, the King of Swords, the Seven of Wands reversed, clarifying that, which if you're not familiar with tarot, clarifying means basically what it sounds like, which is it's added detail to help interpret the main card. We have the Five of Wands clarified by the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. So with that King of Swords and Seven of Wands, I'm getting, don't fight. Whatever change is going on, whatever change is coming to you, whatever balancing is about to happen, don't resist it, because I think that is putting you into disalignment with your life and disalignment with what's going on with you, or misalignment. I don't know how to talk. Because it kind of seems like you feel like you need to fight with other people to get opportunities. You know, what some people may call a lack mindset. But I also think sometimes that's just true. Like if there's like 10 people applying for a job and there's only one slot, there naturally really is competition. Reminder with the Six of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles is that so long as you keep doing what you're doing, the right opportunities and the right things will come to you and kind of fall into your lap. It's just a matter of staying in your lane and continuing to work at what you're working at more than you're concerned with other people. Because if you turn your attention to other people, and if you turn all your attention into fighting with them, then you're gonna lose whatever was setting you up to get this opportunity. Now, for you guys, you're gonna have to take it how you're gonna take it for your life. Maybe for some of you guys, this is about school or work, or even like if you're a content creator or a musician, or like unique things like that. Maybe even in friendship, if you're like in a weird situation where you feel like somebody's trying to take your friend. I don't know. Just think outside the box if it doesn't fully seem like it makes sense. But anything that was imbalanced is going to be coming into balance for you very quickly and very swiftly. So you want to be correct and you want to be ready when that comes. That's why keep your eye on yourself, focus on what you are doing more than you're focusing on the competition. That's the takeaway. So that's what I have for you guys today. Please comment down below and let me know if you liked this style of video for my full moon and new moon readings, and then I can keep doing it and potentially even add on to it. If you watched until the end, comment a sword emoji, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.